Hello, Patriots. Welcome back. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Chaida. I'm a Black conservative commentator and writer, and this is my podcast where I discuss relevant issues surrounding people, society, culture, and politics. I'm so happy that you're here. If you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like unfiltered commentary from a faith-based perspective. And let's get right into it, shall we? In today's scripture, I found it in Proverbs 31, and it says here, right here in verse 10, it says, "A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life." And that is really good and really concentrated scripture because today we're going to be talking about the one and only Melania Trump as well as Michelle Obama. Okay. Well, first thing first, I went to go see the Melania movie in when it came out on opening weekend. I couldn't go on the first day, like the 30th was when it was opening, but I did went to go see it on the 31st. And I have nothing but good things to say about Melania. One of the things, if you guys are not into spoilers, if you guys don't want the movie to be spoiled for you, I would I would speed right past this section of the episode because there are going to be spoilers. Okay, so based on the documentary, it was walking through the days leading up to inauguration. And Melania does a really good job narrating the scenes, giving insight to some of the decisions that she made, from the outfits that she wore on inauguration day and night, and the style that she went with, and even giving us a little bit of her history, her family history, and why her path of immigration to America shaped the woman that she was. And we don't see a lot of President Trump in the first 40 to an hour. The first half of the movie, like we don't see a lot of President Trump. This really was just all her. The spotlight was just all Melania. And also, one of the things I would like to add is that it didn't feel like a documentary. It felt like a movie. It felt like you were watching characters playing a role. But even though they weren't playing a role, it just felt like a movie. It gets such an amazing aesthetic to it. And I can't, it was just chef kisses. Really loved the movie. I went over there. I went to go see the Melania movie just to see what the rave was about. Wasn't really expecting much, but I walked out of that movie theater amazed. So, and especially since the box office thought that this movie was going to be a flop, it was not. It was actually a good sell. Melania made great profits off of her documentary. I'm just so happy that we have a first lady that we can look up to. It's just really amazing. So let's get into Michelle Obama a little bit. So Michelle Obama is currently doing a book tour for her new book, The Look, where she goes over fashionable moments during her time as First Lady. She really comes off. I've seen the interview that she did, the most infamous interview that she did recently with Alice Cooper on her podcast called Her Daddy. Yes, Alice Cooper. Yes, call her daddy. I almost got mixed up with her and somebody else. You guys know Alex Clark from Politics, the Spillover, and now a cultural apothecary. Yeah, I always get the two mixed up a little bit, even though they're two completely different women that could not look more unalike. I still mix them up. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So Alex Cooper's podcast called Her Daddy. And for the former first lady came out very ungrateful for the opportunities that came with being first lady. She was crying and moaning about how it was hard being in Barack Obama's shadow and not really getting any attention because he was the president of the United States first. And she really took that time to just really downpour on her husband. And it's just like, this is a woman who is ungrateful. She come across very ungrateful. She's come across as ungrateful for being in a union with her husband, Barack Obama. She is really ungrateful about what those jobs and responsibilities that came with being first lady. This is a woman who grew up in the South Side of Chicago, who worked her way up and became the first lady of the United States. There are a lot, and she was the first Black lady of the United States. Make that noted. And this is a woman who didn't really see the best in America. Even to now, she talks about how oppressed she was. I'm like, lady, you're a multimillionaire. You have book deals, you have sponsorships, you have a podcast. You're not struggling, okay? You're not struggling like a lot of people in your home city of Chicago are, riddled with crime, poverty, homelessness, you name it. So please spare us the theatrics, okay? And one of the things I didn't really like is how she racialized everything. Not everything has to be racial, and not everybody is a racist. So, when taking it back to the scripture of that I shared earlier in the episode, Proverbs, when it says she brings him good all the days of her life, is Michelle Obama bring Barack good all the days of his life? Because every time she's in the spotlight, she's always taking the time to degrade him, disassociate from him, and just really insult him, insult his progress, insult his intelligence, insult his works as what he did as president of the United States. Now, make no mistake, when Barack Obama was president of the United States, he did not do well in his presidency. Hence why there was a lot of fracture in our economy, in our healthcare system, and just even in the cultural space after he left office. Barack Obama was one of the worst presidents we ever had in modern day history. And he left the country more divided than it was unified. So, but other than that, Michelle Obama doesn't take the time to show gratitude for the marriage that she has with her husband. Do you know how many single Black women there are, and how many of them are desperately trying to get married? And you over here been married for decades. You have two beautiful children, young adult daughters, and you gonna crap on this man? Man, I don't say this lightly, but I could see a divorce in the future. I really can, because a lot of men could not put up with this type of nonsense, and more importantly, a lot of men can only put up with this much nonsense. The only reason why they're probably staying married is for the image, nothing else. I'm pretty sure if it weren't for the presidency, if it weren't for the spotlight, if it weren't for any of it, I don't think Barack and Michelle Obama would last as long as they have. I think they would have been divorced. I think they're only staking it out because they need to keep up with this American image that they're a perfect family. And not that there aren't any perfect families, but that is besides the point. So on and so forth. So, what is the takeaway from all of this? I want ladies, especially young women, to look up to Melania. Knowing the Melania's past with immigration, modeling, and all this and so forth, she conducts herself as a poised, elegant lady, a woman of wisdom, knowledge, and prestige. And I think that when it comes to what she's done, you can tell that, especially in the movie, that Donald J. Trump is proud to be the husband of Melania Trump. because he dotes on her and he adores her. And in this documentary, the Melania movie, this documentary really highlighted certain key parts of their relationship that I never seen before. Because in the public eye, you would think that Melania Trump hates this guy with every ounce of her being. But no, that what you see is a lovely couple, a couple of prestige, a couple of high class power individual. And that's rare that you see in politics. I think going on forward, I have new profound respect for Melania, and I definitely would love to see the behind the scenes relationship persona between her and Donald Trump come out to fruition in the public a little bit more. But that's neither here or there. Anyways, when it comes to Michelle Obama, make sure, Michelle, you're bringing good to Barack all the days of your life, because this is the man you chose to marry and this is the man you chose to stay with for decades now. So please be mindful of that. All right. Anyways, Patriots, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Love you. Thank you for tuning in to This Is Her America. We're here to have the conversations others are afraid to touch. If today's episode challenged you, encouraged you, or gave you a new perspective, do not keep it to yourself. Share it, subscribe, and join the conversation. Follow the podcast on YouTube and all major platforms and stay connected, because this isn't just commentary. This is conviction. Until next time, stay rooted in truth, be bold in faith, and unafraid to stand. This is her time. This is her America. From yours truly.